Hello there. Do you remember about a month ago when I decided I was going to make a flower arrangement for my coach that was leaving? Well, while I was doing that, I decided that I was going to take some of those flowers and I was going to press them. I haven't pressed flowers since I was like really little. I think I got one of those like cardboard flower presses one year for like Christmas or my birthday or something. But honestly, it's been a while. Not only has it been a while since I've pressed flowers, but it's also been approximately a month since I put my flowers in the books. These are the flowers, still shoved between the books for right now. I actually took these books and put them underneath one of my sewing machines. Not the one I was using to make the dragons, obviously, but I actually put it underneath one of the ones that I don't know how to use yet. It's one of the fancy ones that does like all this edging on shirts. I don't know how to use it yet. I'm working on it. I had this nice flat journal that was just there because this one is extremely flimsy and I wanted to make sure that nothing bowed in the middle, so I used this one in between the sewing machine and the books. And these are the two books that I actually pressed the flowers in. I do not remember which one has what in it, so I guess we're about to do a reveal and figure out what's going on in these books. They smell really good, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we've got this rose, which turned out really nicely. I'm always afraid to press roses because they're so bulky, but even the back looks okay. I want to try and be really careful with these because I know they're delicate. I don't want them to fall apart. This one didn't turn out so well. It's flat. It's not very dimensional. Same thing with this one, just kind of squished. This one, I think, looks really neat. I like it a lot. Back looks okay. I like these purple ones. I think it turned out pretty nicely. In this other section of parchment paper, I have a bunch of just rose petals, which really I don't think you need to press. I think you can just dry out rose petals and they dry out pretty flat, but I'm not 100% sure. I have quite a bit of those. I have these little purple flowers with a lot of leaves. I feel like there were more purple flowers on here, but they got lost some way. Then I have these pretty blue ones. I think those turned out pretty nicely. Here's another one. Sorry if you can hear the quails. This lily looks pretty nice. And then I have more of these big purple ones. So these all turned out pretty okay. I think they could have been better, obviously. This is my first time I've done this in forever. But what I really want to do with these is I have a laminator. I want to try and make something with these. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet. I could just run the flowers through the laminator by themselves with no backing or anything. The only reason I would do that is because some of these petals are pretty thin and you can see light through them, and I think they look really neat that way. I am worried that that might burn the flowers more than just laminate them. Another thing I can do is I can take a piece of paper and put the flowers on the paper and try and arrange them in a way that way to make it look really nice. I think I'm gonna try both. I might run some of the petals through just as an experiment to make sure that the flowers themselves are gonna be okay, but I think I'm gonna do one of each. I'm gonna do one like nice pattern on a just regular A4 sheet of paper and then run that through the laminator, and then do a few by themselves with just the plastic laminate and see if it turns out okay. First steps first, we gotta turn the laminator on. It didn't come with instructions, so I'm gonna have to try and figure it out. Okay, it's heating up. It has a section for cold, but I don't know how you cold laminate things. I've never done that before. In the meantime, let's start arranging the flowers and see if I can make something that looks nice. So first things first, I wanted to lay all my flowers out so I could get a good look at them. That way I could do a little bit of planning before I actually start laminating. I got a bunch of different sizes of the plastic laminate stuff, and I don't want to waste any of the laminate plastic, so I'm hoping I can maybe double up some of these flowers. As for the flowers that are going to be by themselves, I definitely want to do this blue one because it was one of the clearest ones, the most see-through ones. I went with the smaller one because I was hoping I could use the stem in the bigger one in order to give a focal point to the bouquet thing I was looking for. A problem I noticed right off the bat is there's a lot of yellow because of the yellow roses and also the yellow rose petals. It was going to be kind of hard to mix and match the two because I didn't want it to be yellow heavy, but I also wanted to make sure there was something interesting going on. I also took off a small piece from the big purple bunch and added it in. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to make, just something that looks cool, I guess. These petals and this rose is going to be our tester for when the laminator finishes heating up all the way to make sure that I won't accidentally burn the flowers. And then the rest of these, I'm going to try and arrange on the paper itself to make a bouquet style piece. At least that's the plan. I've heard that starting with the biggest and working your way from there is a good way to do anything that involves like arranging. These two purple sections are definitely the biggest, and they're also kind of curved, so I figured I could put something that sparks interest in the middle. Anything with stems, I want to be closer to the front so that it looks like the whole bouquet has stems. I do want this rose to be a main focal point though, so I don't want to cover it too much. I'm finding it pretty hard to arrange these in a way that doesn't cover up too much of the flowers, so that each individual flower is still visible. I wish I had watercolors so I could paint a watercolor background. I think that would make this more interesting and also look a little bit nicer. This little one's also throwing me off because the flowers are only on this side, so it should go over here. But I think the lily looks better over there because it takes up so much space. I think I like this the best. I wonder if it would fit in a half sheet. I think it will. Let me get my scissors. With all my flowers arranged and ready to go, I just had to wait for the gosh darn laminator to finish heating up. Alrighty, here's an update for after I actually finished laminating everything. My first try did not go so well. If you remember, this was our test, and I think it got stuck on the big rose and it got all crumpled up and it's gross, and it did not work. However, our second one also had a rose in it, if you remember, and it didn't turn out so bad. Around the rose there are a lot of bubbles and it looks kind of weird, and I can't figure out how to get rid of those. I didn't run this one through twice, but I ran the last one through twice and the bubbles are still there. It could just be because this is a cheap laminator. Not 100% sure though. And here's our final piece. I think it turned out pretty nice. I kind of wish I had trimmed the edges of the paper instead of just lengthwise. I wish I had also trimmed it widthwise. I think there's just a little bit too much space, but I still think it looks pretty neat. All in all, I think I would consider this a success. I don't have any more flowers to press, but I think this is a great way to make them last forever. I like these more, but I think this would be better as a gift or something if I could figure out how to get rid of these bubbles at the bottom. But I definitely like these individual ones with the clear background. I don't know why. I think just having them suspended to me is fascinating. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.